Hey guys, Risque here, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So last we left off, we were here in court, dealing with this dumbass. Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor. Something jammed the sensor? Say. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Okay. Yeah, fast forward. Ooh. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. If we could wrap it up sometime in this decade, that'd be great. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car doors, sir. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? Sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? God, this judge is pissing me off. I mean, almost every character is pissing me off, but the judge especially. He needs to be disbarred. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. I'm tired. Stop talking. Stop. Shut up. The object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. Excuse me. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. Sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well, defense, please present the relevant evidence. What was the insulator stuck in the locker door? Found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. We can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But this isn't the case. That isn't the case. The little lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins? Sir. It would appear so, sir. This high water's pissed me off too. Okay, so are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. But doesn't that still mean that Lana didn't do it? I don't understand who's on which side here. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir. Of course, sir. Is this a joke? It ain't a funny one. Begin your testimony. Okay. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just because it was his card doesn't mean he was the one using it. just before the crime? Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There are only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Okay, so... Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report's only half completed, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? Can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order, order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. Not much in this game does. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Probably somebody who was involved with SL9. Order, order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, I guess that's right. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well. Seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. Jesus Christ. Defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place in one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. It's what I've been saying all day, but okay. The evidence is compelling. Trustworthy witness. Observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Yeah, I don't know what we were trying to prove here. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. Activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered, and where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something else, Lana. What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess?
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not, but I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Seriously, I'm so bored. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth, yes, Your Honor? If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? Sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. Prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify. What is his or her name? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? Can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. God, there's a whole other thing of court to go, and then we have a whole other investigation, and then even more court, and I'm just like, oh God. This game is just like 50 times longer than it needed to be. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. I'd rather hang out with Gumshoe. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. Never. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. Better be, pal. Hey. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Can I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. Can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. This guy was a witness? Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there, I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... I can't think of anything in this world I am less invested in than this bullshit. That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? No, Lana. That's over with. No! Emma, wait. She ran away. Let her go. She's useless anyway. You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jay Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. I mean, duh. It's the DL6 incident all over again. Duh. Can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Trying to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'm gonna take a good look at this file. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Emma didn't come back, thank God. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand, the officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Just say your fucking name and occupation. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jacob Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? Desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. I hate everybody in this game. Oh my god. I think it's best we get on with this quickly. Yes, I agree. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime in plain old English. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time I went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Okay. Can't say I particularly care for your attitude. Can't say I care for your beard beetles. Okay, that was funny. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Okay, what do I need to do? Because I don't want to try to figure anything out. Let's see. You're full of shit. Objection! Officer Marshall, doesn't that strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Bloodstained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the bloodstained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Okay. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. I can't talk. This is too much talking for me. I can't. The murderer touched the locker, blah blah blah. Blood-stained fingerprint completely unrelated. Didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. Let's see, let's press... Oh. Witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. Blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Defense may now cross-examine. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. That's my chance to prove it. Okay, let's press his first statement. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective, the locker I still use. All that's in there now is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Okay. Seriously? Let's see. Press Marshall's 5th. Yeah, how does he know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was blood stain at the scene thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It's found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? A seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. Security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. What? Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony. Okay, don't talk to me like I'm getting in trouble. Like, fuck you. Okay. That was me. Yeah, press that. What do you mean by that? You want me to be... so the video, blah, blah. The video is next to useless, full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth, the floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with this camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in the video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Okay. Very well. We'll do it in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share this with your friends, hit the bell so you don't miss an upload, and I'll see you guys next time.